So today we're going to solve some more log equations. Okay, so this is the first question. Okay, so how do we find the value of x that satisfies this equation? Okay, so take note that ln 3 is a constant. So I can divide both sides of the equation by ln 3. Ln 4x is equals to 1 over ln 3. Okay, so I'm going to use this rule. Okay, so log b base a equals to c, right? Then b is equals to a to the power of c. Okay, so I've shown this in the previous video. Okay, so what is our b, right? B is 4x, right? Ln is basically log base e. Okay, so this is log base e. Okay, so this is log base e. All right, so b is 4x, a is e, right? And our c is 1 over ln 3, right? So that's a constant value, which you can find using your calculator. Right, so 4x is e to the power of 1 over ln 3. And x, right, is equals to, right, let's divide both sides by 4. We get 1/4 e to the power of 1 over ln 3. Okay, so I'm not going to evaluate this, right? So you can do so using your calculator. All right, let's move on to the next question. Okay, so this is LG log base 10 of x minus 3 equals to LG4, the whole thing squared. All right, so notice that there's a difference between LG4 square and LG4 square. All right, so this square only applies to the 4, whereas this square applies to the entire thing. All right, so the value is different. Okay, so don't mix them up. Okay, so LG is log base 10, right? So applying the same rule as the previous question, x minus 3 would be 10 to the power of LG4 squared. Okay, so this entire thing can be evaluated using the calculator again. All right, and x is equals to this plus 3. Okay, so that's our answer. Okay, let's use another color for question 3. Okay, so you realize that this is comparable, the left-hand side and the right-hand side, right? So you can easily observe that x minus 2 is equal to e squared minus 2. Okay, so one common mistake is to strike out the log. Okay, so that is a conceptual misunderstanding, so don't do that. Okay, so just write x minus 2 equals to e squared minus 2. Right, and x would be equals to e squared. Okay, so as simple as that. Okay, so let's move on to the last question of today's exercise, question 4. Okay, so again, ln is log base e, so x squared minus 2 minus e lg10 is e to the power of 5. Okay, so the question may look a bit difficult because of all this e lg10, e to the power of lg10, or what is that, right? But you don't really have to bother about that, right? Because it's just another constant which you can evaluate using your calculator. Okay, so x squared is just e to the power of 5 plus 2 plus e to the power of lg10. Okay, so what is x, right? X would be the positive and negative square root of this entire thing, right? So this is something that we can calculate. Okay, so just use your calculator, right? And we are done. Okay, so I'm not going to evaluate this for you. You can try it yourself. And notice, right, there's a plus and minus. Okay, so generally it's good to always check, to always substitute back into the original equation and see whether you should reject any of the answers. But in this case, I don't think there's a need to do so because this is an x square here, right? So whether it's a plus or minus value, you square it, it will be the same. So both answers, both positive and negative answers should be accepted. Okay, so that's all for this video. I hope you find it helpful, right? And I'll see you in the next one.